when setting up this user account. And also the other part of this, what we'll be doing is we are showing you what the engineer is doing, and we're also going to be giving you the experience from the end user. So Michael is going to be our engineer today. He's going to show us what is actually happening when we're onboarding a user account, while Ayomide would actually be showing us the user experience. What exactly is this user seeing when they resume their new job the first day, and they're trying to assess their work tools, the kind of experience they're going to be, having. So for this event, we are not really going to go deep. And generally, for most people that are familiar with onboarding process, we know for some organization, you get to see people onboarding endpoints device, right? We have people setting up device for new employees. We have Intune. I'm just taking it a bit higher, but you hear stuff like Intune, autopilot. It's still part of the onboarding process. We have stuff like Azure Virtual Desktop, where you have different session hosts, and then you have multiple users accessing this session host. That is also part of the onboarding process. We also have people being set up to use the Windows 365. You create custom image. We even have domain join devices that you have to set user up with. But this show, we are not going to be going into all of that. We're just focusing on M365, the basic stuffs that you need to, assign to a user that is resuming, and how you process the request. And from processing the request, you pass it to the new employee, and then the new employee is trying to access all of these tools. So just before Michael, show us what he has for us today. Today, I'm not your tech guy. I'm just the HR guy. So I'll be showing you the onboarding request I have for Michael. So I'll be sharing my screen, and I just, finished the recruitment process for a new employee. Guess who the new employee is? The new employee is Ayomide. And I already have like a pattern of how the request should be presented to the IT team. So I'm going to show you guys the request I have. And when I show you the request, I would pass that request to Michael, who is our engineer today. And Michael is going to onboard this user. So after the onboarding process, Michael would then, hand it over to the user. But just before then, we also have other people here that are going to look at what Michael is doing. Probably Michael is not doing something right, and they have to tell Michael, oh, from my own experience, this is exactly what I do, or why are you doing this way? So we have other people here, and these other panelists that we have here and engineers that we have here, they're just here to probably see your questions coming in, and they're also going to assist with answering those questions. Once all of this is done, I would advise you just wait for the end, so I can just give a summary of everything that we are doing right today. So just before Michael takes over from me, I would share my screen so I can tell Michael, I've hired the new employee, and I'll show you what the onboarding requests look like that is coming from me. So let me just share my screen like real quick. And where's the screen? This. So I'm bringing up the screen now. Yeah, so I guess you can see my screen right now. My screen should be clear, right? So right here is my onboarding request. For some organization, it's actually going to be more than this. The design would even look more better, but this is just for this event. So I hired a new employee, or probably we got a new employee, and I need to set up this new employee for ABC of Cloud organization. So I have this request, the user first name, which is Ayomide, the last name, and then the email. That's how we, the pattern of emails we use in our organization. Then I have other stuffs that I need Michael to do. Michael will probably explain the rest, but this is my request. And this request, I'm sending it to Michael. And when Michael is done, I have like a dummy email that is outlook.com, which is Ayomide's email. And Michael will be sending her the onboarding letter or the welcome letter so she can set up her account. So right now, I'll stop sharing my screen, and I'll be inviting Michael to take over. And Michael, please, can you just take us through how you're going to go with this onboarding request, so we move from there? And yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Joseph. Once again, my name is Michael. I will be your tech engineer today. Let me know when you can see my screen, please. Can you all see? All right, lovely. So this page you're looking at here is the Microsoft Entra or Microsoft Admin panel. This is where most of the magic happens in most organizations. Now, what is Microsoft Entra? It's a comprehensive suite that manages multiple identities, call it devices, uh, laptops, usernames, groups, security groups. So this is where most of the magic happens, and we will be creating the user from this panel. Now, I'll scroll over from the admin console on the left blade here. I'll scroll over to identity. It should open in a new tab for me. Lovely. So within identity here, like I mentioned, you can manage groups, application, devices, multiple stuffs, control some security stuff here. But today's focus will be on creating new user. So I have the onboarding request here sent to me by the HR team. So to create a new user in this case, we'll click the add button here, select new user, and create a new user. Now, if you remember when the HR person, which is Jerry in this situation, was speaking, he did give us an onboarding guide as to what and what is needed for this user. So the first name is given us a user principal name, which is more or less the email address. That will be ayomide.ok. So, and that's the domain name. Sometimes your organization may have multiple domain. You click on the drop down and select which one suits. But for this demo, I'll be using abcofcloudfoundation.org. Now, I should stress at this point, some organizations have different ways they handle their naming convention. Some may choose to make it maybe a.ok. Then some may say a.o. It all depends on how they prefer to name their user. But for our organization here today, we've been given instructions to name it first name dot last name. First name is Ayomide, and the last name is OK. Now, automatically, it derives the male nickname. If you want to make a change to that male nickname, you can untick this and add further stuffs. But in this case, I will leave it the way it is. Now, we'll give it a display name, Ayomide. Okay. Now, I'll stop here at this moment for the password. We need to generate a password for this user. So I will randomly generate one here. Grab that password, copy, and come here. So this is password pusher. This is also what we'll be using to push out the password over to Ayomide in this instance. So come here and fill in that password there. Untick the auto generate and manually put in what I've copied on from the password pusher section. I will leave the account enabled in this instance, which is here. Sometimes organizations create this account days, weeks before the actual start dates of the user. So I'll keep it enabled here and go to next. Now, if you guys are following me, can you remind me what the first name was again? Are we together?
I, I am the HR.
Ayomide.
Should I tell you?
Thank you. Thank you. That shows you following me. So I'll go back to Ayomide. Lovely. And the last name will be OK. Now, member type, user type will be member because we've been told she's going to be a full-time user. So keep her as member. We've been giving further information as to what her job title will be. So in this case, her job title will be support engineer. We'll fill out these details. The company name will be ABC of Cloud. Keep it simple. Her department will be IT department. We've not been given an employee ID, but most times your organization will give you an employee ID. It comes in, it could be numbers or alphanumeric, it all depends. But in this case, we've not been given one, so I'll leave it blank. Employee type, she's a permanent staff. Sometimes they could be contractors, but we've not been given any of those information yet, and we'll just keep it blank that way. Hire dates, most times is usually the start date the user will be starting with the organization. Just for this context, I'll put it today because she'll be doing the demo today after I'm done creating the account. Sometimes you may be given the option to put a reporting manager who she reports to directly, which is going to be her line manager. In this case, HR hasn't provided that to us. We'll keep it very simple and straightforward. So sometimes also you may be given the information about the streets, city, where this user resides. All of this information can sometimes be very, very important. So the much they've given us here so far is the business phone number. I will grab that number now, copy business phone number, and I'll paste that one there. It's a US based phone number. Take off the spaces there. Lovely. Now, email, I can just repeat her exact email, which is ayomide.ok at abc of cloud foundation.org. Nice and simple. Uh, so no fax number, no age group because she's an adult. If use case for this one is if you've seen some schools of modern age now create Microsoft accounts for every student who get enrolled into their school, give them an account, provide the consent from the parents. So in this user location for this demo, I will be choosing United States. Scroll down, United States, lovely. And next assignment. So I will be adding Naomi to some groups. Add, hit the add button there. It's thinking about it. So I will knock her into all employees group. I will knock her also into, a second, I'm just looking through the onboarding list. Support engineer. So I'm adding her to two groups, the all employees and support engineer groups. Select there, it populates itself there. We've also been told that we need to give her a role within the tenants there. Now we've been told to give her the user administrator role. So here's a drop down of multiple rows. It's a whole lot and covers different level of access. But in this case, we're looking for user administrator. There you go, found it. So if I tick that one, says can manage all aspects of users and groups, including resetting password for limited admin. That's the much she'll be able to do and a little more. So we've given her two groups, remember, all employees and support engineer, then the role user administrator. We then review and create. So this is very important at this point as a cloud engineer. If you're creating an account, this is where you have to look through carefully if we've made any omissions or errors here. We'll scroll down, everything looks fine to me, and I will hit the create button. Lovely. So could not be added, that's fine. So I've done the creation of accounts. If I go into users and search for that user now, I should be able to find it. Your meeting. There you go. It's automatically populating there. So the next thing we need to do is to
All
assign.
right. Thank you, Michael, so much for that. I see that you want to apologize for cutting you there. I like the way you flow in, and it's really very interesting. I'm sure everybody who hear me stop will be angry with me, but I'm sorry. Apologies
No, it's
there.
fine.
So,
Questions are allowed.
so my question here is, I saw that you were in one admin center and you again moved to another admin center that you called Entra to create this user. Are there other ways that are there other portals where you can create this user? Let's say the admin portal you were, or are there other ways? Can you walk us through other areas, I mean, steps that we can follow to have this user created?
Lovely. Thank you, Mr. Joseph, for the question. It's a very valid one. It also shows he's very observant and attentive to this process. So I've created this user in this demo on the Entra Blade, entra.microsoft.com. There are other ways to create user, same way I did. If I move into the admin center, for instance, and I hit the user button there, and active users, I can use the add button here, and same way I've gone through in the other process, I will repeat the same process here and finish all of that, impute all the necessary information and groups there. That's one way. You could also use PowerShell, which is a bit faster. It's more like a command script line. You run the command scripts in PowerShell module, and it automatically gives you prompts you for the information to put in. Depends on the configuration you've configured within PowerShell. Some users also, some organizations use Power Automate also to make all of this process very smooth and easy for themselves. But for this case, we're just limiting our creation to within the Microsoft Entra space. I hope I've answered your question. So thank you. I'll cancel this one now. Now, yes, lost is fine. So let's, just as we've seen her account here, Ayomide, the next thing we need to do is assign license. As per the onboarding request, we've been told to give her certain licenses, which activates her Microsoft Office accounts. So if I search for Ayomide here, there you go. If you look at here, it's saying unlicensed account. Just going to zoom in a bit there. I'll drop into her account. Lovely. And drop down license. Location says United States. That's fine and correct. So I will be giving her, I'll go free up some license quickly there. There. Lovely. So as you've seen, there wasn't any available license there. In that instance, your admin guy or IT guy will have to go purchase one. But for this demo, I've quickly just freed up certain licenses there for her, and you can see one is now available there. So I've clicked on that, and I'll assign these other licenses also to Ayomide and click Save Changes. Now, if you remember during the account creation process, I gave Ayomide, I assigned her a phone number into properties there. That one, so that's a Microsoft Teams phone number. Certain organizations use other methods of assigning phone number. It could be an external, not something within Microsoft. They may choose to use maybe 8x8 or Vodafone or different service providers. But in this case, we are using the Microsoft uh, Teams phone number generated. So I've clicked into Microsoft Teams Admin Center here, and it's auto populated to a new page there. There we go. So what I'm trying to do at this point is to make sure I assign that particular number which I've given to Ayomide. Make sure it's given to her, assigned to her. That's the number there within Microsoft Teams. So I'm just going to click into that. Click the edit button there, and I'll search the user there, Ayomide. So this happens sometimes if the user, because we've just created the accounts, it may take some time for it to propagate and turn up or show up fully on this list here. So we can come back to this one much later. We'll go to other tasks that have been given to us by the admin guys. So we've been told to also add her to a shared mailbox. So moving to shared mailbox there. So these are the two shared mailbox as part of the organization. We've been told for the IT department, we should give her read and manage access only. So that's the option there, read and manage permission. I'll click onto that, select, then choose Ayomide and search. Lovely. So populates there, and assign that one over to her. Thinking about it. Come on, good. So it says this user can read emails in the shared mailbox and perform management actions such as adding and removing mailbox context. I'll close that one off. Move to the next slide there. So read and manage, click on that one, select that one there, and search the name again. And search. Select that name there. Good. So we're giving her read and manage there. We've also been told to give her send access. So send us permission also. Lovely. Add. So we've fulfilled all of those information. Now, I will be sending Ayomide her onboarding process, what she should or how she should be signing in the welcome email. Um, just as I've created a password, if you remember during that creation process. So I've created a password and I will. This password pusher is something we use to push out passwords for this particular organization or this demo. I've set the push to expire in just 1 day. She has maybe 2 attempts or 4 attempts to view it. So once she's clicked up that link, it begins to count how many times she's accessed it. So I'll click push there. So it automatically creates a QR code there and also gives us a link. So for this purpose, I will be sending it to her email via the link rather than the QR code. So I'll move to her email there. Just do that in the background. Yep, so I've pushed that one over to Ayomide. She should be able to see that password link I've sent to her alongside the onboarding process uh, for that onboarding user experience. So I'll pass the mic back over to Sarah.
Thank you very much, Michael, for this great presentation. And thank you very much, Joseph, for asking such an amazing question. This has allowed us and people out there to also know various ways of creating users' accounts. Now to the next stage. Michael has shown us the technical aspect of creating user account. We'll be inviting Ayomide, okay, to show us a demo of the user experience after the account has been created. Over to you, Ayomide.
So I'm the new, according to the HR, I'm the new employee, and I'll be assessing my account for the first time, and all of you are going to be assessing it with me. So as Michael has sent me the login, let me just log into my new account. Can you hear me? Hi.
We lost you,
Okay,
but I
okay,
can hear you now. Yeah.
okay, okay. So
Once you share your screen, let me know so I can push it. Okay.
yeah, I'm waiting for Mike to send.
We can hear you. We can hear you. I think your mic is disconnecting. We can hear you. Can you click on the settings on StreamYard and just confirm that your mic is connected? Can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Okay, your mic
Okay.
is actually going off. Your mic is going off and coming in. So I think maybe you need to keep your mic, steady.
Can you hear me now?
Like you're going. Yeah, I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. So I think you need to keep your mic steady because we are
Okay.
losing connection from the mic. Yeah. So once you're ready,
Okay.
you can share your screen so we can see.
Yeah. So I have gotten my login details from Michael, and I'm just going to log in.
Okay.
Going to share my screen so that you can all come along with me. Okay. Okay. Can you see my screen now?
No, not yet. Okay, I can see it now. I'll add it. Okay.
All right.
Great.
All right. Thank you. So I'm
So,
very
Ayomide,
excited.
before you proceed, Ayomide, can you maximize the screen because the audience is saying it's small for them. It's not taking the entire screen. Is
Okay.
it possible it can be expanded? Or
Is it bigger
just
now?
go ahead.
Yeah, this is great.
Okay. Thank you. So I'm very excited to be part, of this company. And this is the first time that I'm accessing my account that has been created for me by Michael. The first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go to office.com and I'm going to log in for the first time. So let's get there. Yeah. So it says, welcome to Microsoft 365, formerly known as Office. So let's sign in. Okay. I'll input the username that was just created for me by Michael. Then I'll get the password, because if you can remember what Michael said about the push password, I'll go and, copy my password from what he has prompted for me. Okay. And I have okay. I've gotten the password. So I'm just going to paste it here and sign in. It's not coming up. Let's see. Let me get here
I mean,
again.
I think there should be another password on your WhatsApp message. Did you see that?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Okay, I think that's the one you should use.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll just quickly get that. And okay. So I've seen it and I've gotten it. I've gotten my password and Michael, can you please check the password again?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. Sorry, I haven't listened with the password. Michael is going to confirm if that is the right one.
Yeah, sometimes that's one of the things that users joining the organization will experience. Probably the admin
Yeah.
didn't send the right password to them. So all they need to
Yeah.
do is to reach out back to the admin to reset the password. And the admin will check for them.
So I've reached out to my admin again about it. So my admin should please, check that for me.
Yeah,
So
if you look
can
at
you check
your
can you see the private chat? Okay. Okay, Michael just sent one. Take the one password, the password Michael sent. Don't ignore mine.
Okay. Okay. So my admin has sent me another password, and I'm just going to try the new password that he has sent to me. And I am in. So thank you. Thank you to my admin. Yes. Thank you to my admin for helping me to resolve that issue. So actually, I'm not really in. As you can see, it's saying that I require more information is required. And this means that, let's go to next. Let's see what this means. So this means that this password is not enough. I need to authenticate again. That is what is called multi-factor authentication. Another layer for authentication. When you want to, authenticate something, it has to prove that, oh, you are what you say you are. And when you're getting into your phone, even your Twitter account, your Facebook account, any account that you have to authenticate to get into it. But now with Microsoft, we have multi-factor authenticator, which, as the name says, literally is another layer, a multi-layer of authentication. So apart from the password that was just gracefully given to me by my admin, I will still have to authenticate in another way. And here it says I can use the Authenticator app, and that is what I'm going to do. It said that I should download the Authenticator app, which I have. So I'll just access the Authenticator app. If this comes up as a new employee and you want to figure this out, you have to go to your app store and you download the Authenticator app. Then, it says Nest here. So Nest. Now it says I should allow notifications, which I just did. And it says I should select work or school. In your Authenticator app, you can't see this, but once you're with the Authenticator app, by the top right, you will see where they put add. There's a sign that is add there. And I'll just click on it. Work or school account. Then Nest. Then, okay, is my screen easier to see? Because I know some people said they had issues with seeing it well. Is it easier to see now?
It's fine.
It's clear.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, it's fine.
All right. So
Yes.
I'll scan the code. It's scanning. It's checking if I'm the one. And I'll press next. It's confirming if, I'm allowed. It has prompted out a number for me to tap into the Authenticator app. And I'm approved. So anytime that I want to log into this account, I would have to authenticate again with the app here. I can do that with a call or a text from Microsoft. But since I've already added my Authenticator app, that is, how I'm going to use to get in. So, Microsoft really has this added security features to make sure that you are secure and you are, the people that are meant to access what they are meant to access would access it. So let's see how my account looks like now that I have authenticated again. As Michael did before, he made it so that I would have to change my password. If you saw when he was creating the account for me, that I'll have to change my password anytime I sign in. So that is why this prompt is coming up. So I'll put my preferred password now. I'll confirm the password. And I'm in. Welcome to Microsoft 365. Thank you. I'm happy to be here also. And now you can see, okay, it's blurry. I think it's trying to load.
I think you could just refresh and see.
Yeah, it's blurry, so I'm going to see what's up with that. Okay, So here, Microsoft 365 portal, this is my first time being here, and it might be your first time being here also. So as a new employee, what are the things that I'm just supposed to know? What are the things that I'm supposed to see? Here at the portal, if I am working or any document or I'm collaborating on any document with anyone, you would see it here. You can see all here, then you see filters with documents or files that were recently opened, that were shared, or my favorites. If I want to upload anyone from my computer, maybe I want to work on it with someone, a file that I have to work on it, that I have to work on with my co-worker, I'll come here, upload, and I'll be able to work on it here. And here, create. With Microsoft 365, it's like a hub of different products and services that Microsoft has. That's their collaborative, services, the ones for communication, the ones for productivity. And here with Create, I think Create is synonymous with, produce. So these are their productivity apps and their productivity services that they have quickly with PowerPoint, with Excel, with Word. I want to create something. I'm having a meeting very soon, and I and my coworkers need to, create a presentation. It's easy to just come here and do what I need to do with the templates here that are also available to me. Here, I also have OneDrive, which is file storage for Microsoft. I can synchronize all my files in different devices and have access to them. You see my files, the ones that are shared in the recycle bin, everything here, available. Okay. Next is here my apps. You say one place for all your apps. Find new apps and get things done. I'll just exit here. So you see, they have by category here with productivity, utilities, education, etc. I will come here to all apps. And why do I have access to these apps? Is because of the license that I was given by Michael. If you can remember when he first created the user in Microsoft Entra, I had to go back to admin to give me license. And it's that license that, gives me the ability to access these different apps. So if you can remember, Michael added me to shared mailboxes. Let's, as we saw it from his side, what does that look like for the new employee? If you are the new employee, what would that look like for you? So let's go to Outlook. Okay. My Outlook is, it's loading. So if you can remember, Michael added me to 2 shared mailboxes. He gave me the read and manage for one, and he gave me read and manage, and also the ability to send as for the other one. So, I can't see any of them here. And you might not, if you're using the Outlook on web, you can't see any of them. What are you going to do? You are going to come here to folders, and you can see the option here after create new folder is add shared folder or mailbox. Okay. He added me to the IT. Okay, see here. If I have the authorization to join it, I'll be able to add this shared folder, and I have it. He also added me to the cloud notification. Cloud, okay. And I have access for that too. So now I can see inboxes. I can see, if I scroll down, I can see cloud notification where I can see my inbox, I can see my draft, my sent items, everything available here to me. Also, what does it mean to have the authorization to read and manage and also have the authorization to send as Michael was creating this for me, he gave me the authorization for the cloud notification to send as and the IT department to just read and manage. If I come here, trying to scroll down, yeah. If I come here to the cloud notification and I want to send a new email, let's say we have customers and they sent me something to check and I want to reply to them, but they sent this email to the cloud notification group, not to my personal email. They sent it to all the members of this shared mailbox in the cloud notification group. How am I going to reply them since I have the ability to send as? What I'm going to do, I'm going to come here to options and do show from. With show from, I can check here for cloud. Okay, cloud notification. And let's say, let me send it to myself so that you people would be able to see it coming. Okay. Okay, I'll just leave it without a subject and I'll be like, let's say I'll be like, please send an invoice. I hope that is the right spelling of invoice. But yes, it is. And I'll send. Okay. It's sent. You can see it came as cloud notification, not as immediate okay, because I have the ability to send as this shared mailbox. So it came as immediate okay. Now, where I have the permission of read and manage, let's see what that looks like there. That is the IT department. Let me do new mail as we just did before. And we'll do option. That is the IT department. Okay. Let's send it to Ayomide again. And let's say I have gotten the invoice. Send. Yeah, I want to send this without the subject. I can't because I don't have the authorization to do it because Michael didn't give me the authorization to do it. Also, I also want to show another thing. If I want to open this through a new tab, I'll just come here and say open in another mailbox. We have the cloud notification. Which is open. You don't see the other one for the IT department. You don't see the one for my personal mailbox because I've opened this mailbox in another tab. I can also do the same thing for the IT department. Yeah, the same. So it's personalized. I don't have my personal mailbox here and I don't have the cloud notification mailbox here. So yes, that is, the exploration of the shared mailboxes that Michael added me to. So if I'm checking where, I sent in the cloud notification. So going back, you can also remember that he added me to some groups. So let's go and explore the groups that he added me to. Let's go and see what that looks like. I'll come here and view my account. Okay, my account is taking some time to load, but it's going to come up now. Why is my account taking time? Okay, my account is up. So let's go and see what that looks like. So here in my account, you can see my email, the number, my role, my name, security info, devices, organization. But that is not what we're here for. Let's just go over to my groups. And it's loading the groups. I'll just come here to groups that I am in. Okay, and you can see all the groups that Michael added me to. So yes. So yes, everything that Michael has done, the groups he has added me to, the shell mailbox he has added me to, the apps that I have access to because of the license that he has given me, you can see everything available there. So thank you, Michael, for you know adding me,
Ayomide,
for
just before
onboarding
you
me.
go, just before you
Yes,
go, Ayomide, can you
yes.
confirm the teams? Do you have the office phone number?
Okay, let's go and see that.
Yeah, can you just open Teams? Let's confirm that as well.
So let's check all our apps and go over to Teams. Okay. So my Teams is loading. It's coming up. It's loading. Can you see my Teams?
Yes, I can see the Teams.
Yes, yes, we can.
Okay. Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
great. Yeah. So
You can see here about the number. So what he added me to, I have access to the number that Michael has given me.
All right. Thank you, Hayomidi. Sorry, I have
Yeah.
a query. Maybe you need to go back some step regarding the share me box Mikey added you to. I
Okay.
realized you sent a mail out of that share mail box, but I could not really see when you open that particular page to see if the email really save in your sent item. Maybe you can really explain to us what's the reason behind that. Because sometimes, our general emails, when you send a mail, we always have a copy of the sent mail in our
Yes.
folder. So please, can you just give us a tip what's happening over there?
Okay. Okay. No problem. Let's see. Okay.
All right.
Cloud
Hi, Amide.
notifications. Thanks.
Yeah,
I can't see that, Michael.
yeah. I will explain this one when I take over the screen now, if that's
Okay.
okay. Do we have any other questions?
Just 1 minute, Michael.
Yeah, sure.
Just hold on. I thank you very much for this excellent walkthrough. It was really detailed and engaging. Thank you. But I noticed one thing while you were going through the groups. I noticed a third group there, and I when this user profile was being created by Michael, I paid really close attention, and I observed that he added you to just two groups, but I'm seeing a third, and I don't know why that is. I don't recall him adding you into a third group. So, do you care to shed more light on that, please?
Yeah, thank you, Situk. Alongside the shared mailbox query that was raised, I will answer both questions now. I will present my screen to you guys. Let me know as soon as you can see it. Are we there yet? Lovely. So I'm just trying to increase my zoom in a bit so it's clearer to everybody and the other audience on LinkedIn and everywhere. All right. So the first question was, I added her to two groups, and when Ayomide shared her screen, you were able to see three of them. Now, what happens
Yes.
there is I've dynamically given an instruction to the system based on certain syntax rule. So if I recall, just going to look at the onboarding mail again. It says add her to IT department and support group. So the third one you're seeing that's mysterious is the all staff one. Now this is a dynamic group, and what I mean by dynamic group, instead of manually assigning her to those groups like I did earlier, what it's done is I've based on the syntax rule. Syntax is a combination of certain conditions or rules. For instance, I'll put it in a very simple term. I could say if the user department equals IT department, automatically add that user to a certain mail, a certain group. If the user's maybe department equals support engineer, add that user to a specific group. So that's what has happened in Ayomide's case here. Now, this all staff group, I've set up a syntax rule here that says if the account is enabled, add the user to that um, distribution group, that's a security group dynamically. So if I look at the overview, you will see it's going to give you an overview of how many accounts that has populated itself into that group. Same thing for the other groups there. If I go into the group again for Ayomide's account, IT department. Now, that one also, I've given to another syntax rule to say if the department, of course, equals IT department, automatically add her to that group. I believe that answers the questions why you're mysteriously seeing a third group there.
Yes.
Lovely. So
Yes,
I'll go to
it
the
does.
next
Thank you.
question. Go to the next question. I believe you can still see my screen. We'll try to zoom in a bit more. Lovely. Thank you. So we had two shared mailboxes, and your question, if I'm correct, Mr. Lawali, was she did send out a mail from the shared mailbox. However, that mail she sent out did not sit within the shared mailbox folder. If you paid close attention. Now, within by default on shared mailboxes here, when you're given permission to send as or send on behalf within the shared mailbox, it does not automatically keep hold of the message that has been sent out once the user sends it out, except we make some manual configurations within the admin center. So within the admin center, I've selected the cloud notification shared mailbox there, and I've gone to this sent item section here. If I click edit there, now you see you have two options. It says copy items as this mailbox. So what this rule does is if Ayomide sends out a mail, because she's got senders permission on this mailbox, if she sends out a mail, it will also retain a copy of that mail she has sent out within the shared mailbox folder. So at the moment, at the point where she was demonstrating her screen, it was only retaining it on her own personal sent message. So if we tick that box there and she tries that again, it should hold on to the sent message on the shared mailbox as well as on her own shared mailbox there. So I'm just going to activate that one there. And if she tries to send subsequent messages, then it should also automatically hold on to that send messages within the shared mailbox group there. I believe I've answered those two questions.
Yes, thank you very much. You did answer mine. At least I'm clear about that now. Thank you.
Lovely. Thank you very much. So,
Yeah.
yep.
Go on if you have something to say.
Yeah, I was just about
This
to say,
answer.
I tried to assign a phone number earlier, if you guys remember, because I've created the account newly. It's just taking time to propagate itself. So that was the number that was there, and I've assigned it to Ayomide, and that's showing up fine for her. Remember, the steps I did was I clicked on edit there, and this option wasn't activated. I clicked on that, then selected Ayomide and applied that one, and that's automatically give her that number there. So that's it.
Oh, great, amazing. Thank you so much for that presentation. I would say it went smooth, and for everyone that has been with us from the beginning of this event, thank you so much for joining. I just want to give a summary of what you're seeing happening right now. So what's happening right now is Michael is the IT guy, and he's probably, doing resuming at work for the first time, or probably has been working there before. And now we have the HRO person sending a request about a new employee that has just been hired. So what Michael is doing, Michael is working with the request, and what he's doing is also assigning access to the user, because now you can see Ayomide is supposed to work in the IT department. She needs to get, emails that are being sent to the IT department. Probably someone is raising a ticket and that's the email they are using. So Ayomide is probably going to need access to see those emails, and she should be able to also reply to the emails that are being sent to the IT department mailbox. So that's basically what Michael was doing. He was giving her access to all she needed. I think one thing Ayomide did not show us, she didn't show us if she has like the admin permission. So basically, I could see that Michael gave her the user admin role. So Ayomide should also be able to access the Microsoft Admin Center, but she will have limited access to what she can do, because with the user admin role, you cannot perform some tasks. So Michael gave her that role as well, but Ayomide was able to show us the license. She's able to access M365 apps. She was also able to, confirm the phone number that was assigned to her. She was able to add the shared mailbox to her Outlook on the web. Now we have Outlook clients. So if you're probably using Outlook clients, you might not be going through the process of adding the shared mailbox. You just need to give it some time and it's just going to pop up there. So, but because she was trying to access the shared mailbox from the web the first time, she just had to, add it. And she also showed us how we could also view the shared mailbox on different tab. And she showed us how we could as well send emails from the shared mailbox, because if you probably have the shared mailbox and you're seeing the new folder there, what that simply means, you don't really need to the new email, sorry, you can't just click on the new email and send an email from the shared mailbox. You have to go to the option where you can switch over, and then when you switch over, you can now use other email and select the mailbox that you have the sender's access from. So that was exactly what Ayomide was doing. But we also noticed something, that she sent an email, but we could not find the sent email on the shared mailbox sent folder. So by default, it doesn't save the sent email from the shared mailbox to the sent folder of the shared mailbox. So I know previously you have to use like PowerShell to turn that on, but right now Microsoft has made it easier for us. You just need to go to the portal and you have buttons, you just tick edit, and that should be all good. So Michael was able to also explain that to us. Another thing Michael tried to explain to us was the group. So there are some employees that you might set up and they just get added to some group that you never added them to. So what you probably need to look out for is the syntax that was set, or the type of group membership. So we have some groups that are assigned, while some group are dynamic. You don't really need to assign a user to that group. So the user attributes will decide if they should be added to that particular group. So for the group Michael had, I could see one of them. He said once you have a user that is enabled, Ayomide's account was enabled because he created it and he ticked enabled. So the reason she was in that group was because her account was enabled, and that's the only syntax, if I may say, the rule that was set for this particular group, and that was why Ayomide was in that group. For the IT department, the rule for the membership was, if you are in the IT department, you should be in that particular group. And that was why Ayomide was also in this group. But once you have the membership as assigned, you have to go in there to the group and then add the user to the group. So Michael was able to explain all of this for us. Michael also explained about, when you want to create the user. Joseph asked the question, how do you create a user apart from Entra ID? And he told us we could as well go to the M365 admin center and then set up a user, which is actually correct. Most people, they write script for their user. Most people, they use the Power App. And just so you know, you might be working in an organization where they have hybrid environment. And the users, you might not need to come here and create those users. They have servers and Active Directory. You would need to create those users in the Active Directory and they will sync to the cloud. You can now go ahead to assign them license and probably give them access to the shared mailbox or probably, do some other stuff that you have to do here. And he also stated something about phone numbers. When it comes to phone numbers, Microsoft Teams, we can actually get numbers there, get license, and then assign to users. But what you should also know, depending on the environment you're working, some organization, they might probably have their number somewhere else. And like I've seen some people use 3CX and 8x8. You can also, I know that's one popular place people also get numbers. They go there, assign the user the phone number, but then when they are setting up the user account, they already know the phone number they're going to be assigning to the user, and then they can assign it to add it to the user's properties in M365. So when you look at all of this together, you just see these are some of the basic things you just need to understand when you're starting your tech journey. But aside from this onboarding, there's also another part where you have devices. You have to onboard the user device. Right now, Ayomide was just basically accessing, accounts on the web and all of that. But in some enterprise organization, they'll probably be sending you the device. And when they're sending you this device, when you turn it on, you have to sign in with your account. And by the time you're signing in with your account, the onboarding process starts at that particular time. So we have autopilot for Microsoft. And when you're talking about Microsoft Intune, there's most organizations, they use autopilot. So immediately the user is signing into the device, applications and most other stuff, the company portal, everything is just, provisioning on the device. And we also have people using like domain join device. So I spoke about you creating this user account in the Active Directory. So for some people that probably create their user account in Active Directory, they might as well have devices that are joined to their domain. And what the user just needs to do is to use their account to sign into those devices. So when it comes to onboarding, the list can be very long. I've worked where we have in an MSP where there's like different clients and no two clients is using the same onboarding process. They have different onboarding process. But one good thing I would always advise if you're starting your journey is if you know the process that you use within your organization, even after you are sure that you've done everything, always create a checklist for yourself. I do that most of the time, even when I know maybe the junior engineers are going to, set up an account and I have to go back to set it up. I will create the account. After creating the account, I know what the onboarding process is, but what I start doing before sending the account to the user, I go back and start doing my checklist. So the checklist is, what's the user first name? Checklist. Did I give the user the correct first name? Yes, good. What's the email address? Checklist. I check the onboarding letter, correct. So once you do this checklist, you would not fall into a situation where you're sending the user account and later they're calling, hey, this user cannot see any emails from IT department. And you'll be like, oh, they should see it. Oh, sorry, I forgot. So let me add it. Okay, this user, we just discovered this user is supposed to be in this group. The user is not in that group. Oh, so if you follow the checklist, you would try to overcome all of these little issues. Now, these issues, they are just general issues that we can have from oversight. But when you have checklists, you can actually reduce this issue. So I don't want to, talk more or go in depth to onboarding a user. So before I wrap up, I think Joseph has a documentation here. He wrote about setting up users. I think that was like a very good resource that people could actually benefit from. So Joseph, I don't know if you have the link for that to that article, or do you have something that you could just show people and then drop it on the comments so that people can use?
Okay, please, while we're wrapping up, I will try to look for it.
Oh, you don't have it with you. Okay, so just before we go,
So just within some minutes, I should be able to fetch it. It's just within my LinkedIn
okay.
page. Yeah.
So somebody was asking a question. Just so someone say after a new employee signs in, I enabled and enforced. Okay, so when you're setting up MFA, there are different ways you can, set it up. I know I did a video about the migrating the legacy MFA to the new authentication. So most organizations they have like security defaults turned on, and for some people they have conditional access policies. So what that does is once you've set it up for your organization and probably you have a group that you've enabled MFA for, once the user tries to sign in, that will be the next stage. So for this particular one, we have MFA enabled on that particular tenant. So there's no way that a user would just sign in without having to get that prompt to set up the multi-factor authenticator. But I don't know if you're probably referring to maybe a user that have been using the MFA previously and maybe their device got missing. They can't find, they can't access the MFA again. You can always go back there and, try to revoke it and reset the MFA from the user account. So you try to tell them, okay, try to sign in again. Once they try to sign in again, they should get the prompt where they can, set up the MFA on their device again. So I don't know if that answers the question. And
So
I think
yeah,
Joseph's screen is up.
that's
Yeah.
okay. Yeah. So this is the book. Yeah, so it actually started all the way from the on-premises environment on how to create objects generally, how to create users, how to create group from on-prem, and then again it's further discussed on um, creating users from the cloud, the M365, which Michael just did. So it's like a baby step of doing things. So if you have your hand on this, you can download it. It's just about 53 pages filled of a lot of steps. I think that post was done like 4 months ago, but I'm still going to drop the link on the chat just so you can go and check it out. Thank you, Jerry.
Yeah, thank you so much, Joseph, for that. So just before we wrap up, I just want to say thank you to everyone. And I also want to thank everybody that is on this live event with me because this would have not been something I would say I could do alone. I probably it's not easy for me to say I'm creating the user and I'm also okay. Let me test what the end user is, and it's not also easy for me to probably be creating the user and also saying, oh, let me verify or tell people why I gave two groups and they are saying three. And it's not also going to be easy for someone to notice, like probably I'm doing it alone and I'm saying, oh, the email I sent from the shared mailbox is not in the sent folder. So the point is coming together as a team has actually made this presentation easier for all of us. And that's why I want to thank everyone here for being part of this event. And for those that were also watching from wherever they are watching at the moment, I want to thank you so much for being part of this event. So just before we go, ABC of Cloud Computing is where we try to build people from, no tech experience to where you can comfortably say, yeah, I understand what the cloud is all about. So for me, I'll tell you, most people have had questions about, I don't think this is something I can really do. I don't know how to program. I don't know how to code. We're actually planning an event where we would speak about that. Let's talk about the cloud. We did that before, but we want to do like a 2.0. And Emmanuel Etioje on the call, we are also looking at coming up with that. But just before we come up with that, I just want to let you know that what we do here, we don't look at your previous tech experience. We don't care if you even have tech experience at all. But what we do, we try to provide the resources. We try to empower you to get to the point where you can also tell people that, hey, I was once, a non-techie person, but right now I'm very confident about myself. So that's exactly what we do in ABC of Cloud. And my own story, I would say one day I didn't come to the world knowing how to use Microsoft Azure. I learned it. So, and almost everybody, if everybody here, they also learned it, how to use it. And if you want to also learn about the Microsoft Cloud, you want to get involved, trust me, it is something that you too can do. And what we do in ABCoft Cloud, we empower people, and our testimony is actually great, like amazing testimony. We empower people to the level where they can confidently say that, yes, I started without understanding what Microsoft Azure is, what Microsoft M365 is, but right now I understand this, I know this, I know this. I can as well even speak and train people on how to, use this Microsoft Cloud. So thank you so much for joining us. We are looking forward to seeing you on our next event. We don't know when, but soon we'll be announcing another event, and it's going to be interactive as well. It's going to be an event where you would also, understand some stuffs, like you'll probably see some new stuffs. So right now, I don't have much to say, but all I'm just going to say thank you, and do have a great day wherever you are. Thank you.
Thank you.